Hi guys, and welcome to an special video here on Bleeptop Productions for a group that we've collaborated together with called REVVING Old Punks. Now, this is a group of individuals who are really passionate about the Transformers TCG, and we got together and we've made a set. Our group has come together to basically create cards for the Transformers TCG, and also this is a team going forward that are going to be doing live streams and a lot more cool, exciting stuff in the not too distant future. So with that being said, with this press release, we've got, should we say, a few insights to some of the card design that we talk about in this video, some previews of cards, and also a special promo card that we're going to be releasing with the set, which I think a lot of you will be looking forward to, because trust me, the card kind of exists already, what Wizards of the Coast did, but didn't give that character any justice. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my good friend Dave from the Energon Hustlers, one of the key cogs for this group, to talk about one card.
It's Dave here from the Energon Hustlers, and it's just a big hello to all of you out there, and to just say how excited I am to be part of the REVVING Old Punks collective of people that have banded together to primarily play games, but also about 4 months ago whispers were mentioned between the members of the group about possibly doing some cards. So here we are, premiering sort of the set, as it were. Really exciting time. There's been a lot of man hours have gone into play testing the cards and testing them and revisions and everything like that. So we got some spoilers. You all want spoilers, don't you? I've kept you waiting long enough. Right. So I'm going to preview one stratagem, one battle card. The core of the set, or the goal of the set for me, was to make some much maligned characters, beloved characters that Wizards of the Coast designed that maybe didn't quite hit the mark, playable. So that was goal number one. The other goal was like theme, and just kind of injecting a bit of the Transformers lore into those characters a bit more, and also making them feel a bit more like they should. I know the guy that Lee's going to be talking about, and probably in detail on our set release video, a lot of man hours went into him. So what the character I've chosen, we've done several stratagems. So the set's generally designed for casual play. It has been tested alongside the Arc and Bayformers extensively, but it's really for casual play. However, we wanted to put a couple of spicy cards in, and I think these are two of the spiciest. So the first card we're going to look at isn't my stratagem, but it's this guy, Major Ultra Magnus from Wave 3. Who always had a bit of a drawback. His armor just got bashing shield, ramming speed. Later on, reprocess, disassemble. Major Ultra Magnus was practically not worth bothering putting on the board for his star cost, particularly with the investment for the armor. Like, it just wasn't worth it. So me and my good buddy Jared, and this was one of the first cards that was designed in the set, and this has undergone some revision. This is pretty much the essence of what we wanted to capture. So this card is called Impervious. That's a stratagem for Major Ultra Magnus. It's a star, so it pushes him, if you want to play his armor, pushes him up to 15 stars. That's a lot of your stars. It reads, if an opponent's card would cause an armor to be scrapped from your Major Ultra Magnus City Commander, you may scrap an armor from your hand instead. So we took the inspiration there from Ghost Shield from Wave 5, a really nice piece of armor, and we figured why couldn't Magnus have this as well? It is a very powerful effect. But Magnus should be in his armour, otherwise he's just Minimus Ambus from the IDW comics. And that's not cool. We wanted Magnus to be cool. The last part of text on the card is, while your Major Ultra Magnus Infantry City Commander is upgraded with Ultra Magnus armour, he has +2 health. So he's a 19 health with the armour. Really makes worth investing in that piece of kit. Like, it makes it more reliable, it's going to stay on the board, and it kind of puts him on par with Galaxy Prime, like the sort of stat line that you see on Galaxy Prime. So we love the card. It's definitely one of my favourite stratagems in the set, and I hope you guys like it as well.
Thanks for that, Dave. A very, very awesome card indeed. And I'm going to talk about one briefly before I pass it to another one of our, well, should we say founding fathers of the Turbo Revving Young Punks. I want to talk about a little card called Foreman's Ingenuity. That's right, Foreman's Ingenuity is a Constructicon card only. Now, with the design aspect of this card, we wanted to make Constructicons playable. And in this set, my main goal was to get them back on the table and make them fun to play and make them, you know, the combiners they should have been. Because, to be honest, Wizards did them a little bit dirty. So, with Foreman's Ingenuity, it is an orange pip, it is an action, and the key line that starts with this card is play only if your starting team contains only Constructicons. Now, we know there's possibly going to be other people out there who are going to make other combiners, maybe the Constructicons, because they got dirtied by Wizards of the Coast. But this card is basically for the original set of Constructicons. Now, going forward in the design process of this, we wanted it kind of to start with Scrapper, because Scrapper is the main guy in the Constructicons. He's a genius. He's kind of like the card states, he is a foreman for the Constructicons. Now, this card had many iterations, which we discussed on a One Shot Stand, One Shot Fall podcast, where I kind of wanted it to be a search card, like kind of mechanic, but then we realised that would be a bit too powerful. And I can say it quite proudly and stupidly, I wanted it to be kind of like a demonic shooter, just for Scrapper, because, you know, the Constructicons were just done dirty by Wizards. To be honest, I had to swallow my pride, and we came with a better solution, and working with Dave and many others, we have the card that is in front of you guys today. So with that, the next part of the text on it says, put a Builder's Tools, a Constructicon Enigma, Heavy Landing, or Reclaim from your scrap pile to your hand. So obviously they are Constructicon themed cards, and we wanted to give the cards that, you know, you got when you got the Constructicon starter set, or the box, whatever you want to call it. We wanted to give those cards more life, because you rarely played with some of them. Like Reclaim is incredibly strong, don't get me wrong, that sees a lot of play, but some of the others really didn't. And the best thing about this card is the final bit on the text box, which states, if your tower is 6 or higher, you may play that card. So right from the get-go, you can tell that this card is going to be quite powerful, because all those Constructicon cards that, you know, you get from that starter set, such as Builder's Tools, Constructicon Enigma, Heavy Landing, or Reclaim, are going to be able to be played if your tower is 6 or lower. And trust me, some of the other cards that I've worked on allow you to build that tower a little bit quicker, because that was the whole gimmick with Devastator. So, with that being said, I hope you really like Foreman's Ingenuity, because I absolutely love it. It's a killer card, especially when you get it off at the right time. It is fantastic. But with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to another member of the Turbo Revving Old Punks, in Rich, and he is going to talk about another card.
Hi, this is Richard from the Turbo Revving Old Punks, aka Nizumi. The first card I'd like to talk about is Silent Hunter. This was designed for basically for Specialist Flame War, based on the fact that in the original artwork of the card, she's using a bow. So it seemed really logical that her stratagem have the Cybertronian bow. We took this further in the fact that if she doesn't manage to use the ability of the Cybertronian bow, she does 2 damage to the defender at the end of the turn. It seems to play very nicely. I hope people enjoy it, and I also hope people will get use of a character that doesn't get used very often.
Thanks for that, Rich, and again, another very exciting card that we are going to be bringing you in this amazing set called Phase 1. Now, guys, we're going to get straight into another card reveal with my good friend Dave Cook from the Energon Hustlers, and I'm not going to lie, this one's a little bit spicy. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
A bit of a background on this battle card. So there once was a time, circa Wave 2, certainly when I joined the game in Wave 3, a certain battle card dominated constructed play. I mean, absolutely dominated it. It's the card I'm talking about is Press the Advantage. We all loved and or hated that card, probably both in equal measure. Great when you're playing it, not so much when you're on the receiving end. But then it got banned into obscurity, and the card kind of has got forgotten about. Like, the nightmares have eased, so on and so forth. But then, Bill Moo, Adam from Bayformers, designed a card for World Strike called United Against Tyranny. And it's Press the Advantage without the green pip. We reviewed that card. We was like, that's really powerful still. I've played it a lot now. Without the green pip, I don't think that card's a problem. It's just a powerful card. It's along the lines of the bigger they are, heavy-handed. So, where does my card come into this? Well, we've designed a card. And this was a card that my little lad Aidan wanted to design. He chose the card name, and he chose the card art as well. The card is called Die Autobots. That iconic line that Megatron yells as he boards the Autobot shuttle to Earth in Transformers the movie. 1, it's an amazing piece of artwork. And 2, it's probably one of the most powerful battle cards we have designed. There have been a lot of discussions around this card, whether we felt it should be in the set. I think it should, because I've played against United vs. Tyranny a lot. This card, Die Autobots, is a carbon copy, but in the reverse. It's a blue pip. Choose one of your Decepticons. It gets +2 attack until end of turn. Choose an enemy Autobot. It gets -2 defense until the end of turn. So, it's just reverse. It doesn't have the green pip, but it is good. And for those people that are like, whoa, just try it out.
Okay, Dave, thanks for that. And it has come to me again to spoil one of our cards, and it's a stratagem this time, and it is for one of, I think, the most beloved Decepticon in Transformers, in Soundwave, and this is called Soundwave Superior. Now, as you can tell, Soundwave Superior is a 1-star stratagem that basically you get to use with the Soundwave that you got in the Blaster and Soundwave set. Now, if you've been playing the Transformers TCG for a while, when this set came out, one of the characters got a lot more love than Soundwave did, and that was Blaster. Blaster was really prevalent in the meta game or in the tournament scene, and Soundwave kind of got forgotten about. But when we got to talk to Drew at the Energon Open, he told us Soundwave is no one to sleep on. So I tried to get him to work, and he's a very good character. And yeah, since the game has died, he kind of fell to the way, let's just say, to the back of the pool, because Decepticons definitely led the charge, should we say, for when the game died. They're finished in a very strong place compared to Autobots. But when we were coming up with stratagems to play, we wanted to look at the big man known as Soundwave, and this is a card that I'm really excited about, which Dave Cook designed, because when you read what it does, it's kind of awesome. So, what Soundwave Superior says is when you play a secret action, do 1 damage to an enemy. So, for 1 star, and for multiple things you want to do with those secret actions, if you take this stratagem with Soundwave, you get to do ping damage to enemies. Now, when we came up with the design aspect of it, talking to Dave about it, it just seemed right, because he, you know, Soundwave is the guy who's always scheming and always planning. You know, he is like the Spec Ops of the Decepticons, you know, and just playing secret actions and being, you know, a little bit manipulative, it just seemed right. And we wanted to make him a little bit more, should we say, dangerous, because Soundwave's really good without the stratagem, but we just wanted to have a card that's just a ton of fun to play, and also gets you guys looking back through those binders at all those secret actions that came out, because there's some that definitely stand out, I'm not gonna lie, but there's a few that people have forgotten about. And with Soundwave, there is a card out there in the, should we say, Transformers TCG that allows you to play more secret actions. So if you think about it, his artwork is on that card. It just seemed right to make it a Soundwave card. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. We've had a ton of fun playing it. I can definitely say Dave has had a lot of fun playing it, because Dave loves his secret actions, and if you've listened to our podcast, you know that he loves secret actions. So with that being said, they're my 2 cards, so we're going to go kick it back to our good friend Rich for his final card.
The other card I chose to talk about is Electrostatic Shielding. This card was designed with basically what was done to Wave 5 as Wizards were due to cancel the game, in that it basically warped the meta. It also meant that a lot of the cards were then ignored, because basically that if your characters weren't effective against Pierce, they weren't very good at all. So basic Electrostatic Shielding is aimed at basically turning Pierce into white. It means that your characters don't effectively take Pierce, but it also means that it gives your opponent the chance of basically flipping extra white cards, which does occasionally combo off, but it's a counterbalance of the two. I hope that you enjoy the cards, I hope you enjoy the set, and look forward to creating more cards in the future.
So yeah guys, those are the cards, but we're now going to go into kind of a list of thank yous. Because a lot of people have helped us with the creation of this set and a lot of testing. I am just going to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone. I do not want to forget anybody, so I'm not going to name everyone, but you out there know who you are, and I want to do a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know I can't really speak for the others, but I know they also are very grateful for you guys giving up your time, giving your input in, and, you know, really developing this set, which really all together was what we wanted to have, was a casual play set which will be fun and theme. But I know my co-host way too well from One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, and I know Dave's probably going to have a big, should we say, thank you list. So I'm going to switch it over to Dave, who's probably going to name some people. Knowing him, he probably knows everyone, so you're probably going to get a thank you. But from me personally, I want to thank everyone who has been a part of this, because it's been an absolute blast. So thank you.
I wanted to start off by thanking several people that have made this whole project possible, because it's been really, without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I've tried to write a list of everyone that has helped with the project. My apologies if there's anyone I've missed. I still love you, and I thank you so much. So first of all, I'd like to thank my co-host on the One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall podcast, which is Lee. So thank you, buddy. How did we end up here? Who knows? It's really cool. One of the other founding members of the Turbo Revving Old Punks, Matifa, from the Arc fame, has also become a close friend, and we play a lot of games. Nazumi, the other founding member. Thanks, buddy. You've designed some cards this wave. I'm hoping to see more from phase 2 onwards. And in no particular order, these are all the guys that have helped with theory crafting, play testing, just being a help in general, you know. Salty from Blues on Attack on the Ark. Thank you, mate. You were invaluable in the early days of designing these cards, and it meant a lot to me that you took the time to say, no, Dave, that card's dumb.
You're dumb.
Techno, aka Carl from the Ark, your rules wisdom, your card wordings, everything that you helped us with to get this moving. Thank you. Mike from the Ark, who's kindly offered, alongside Adam from Bayformers, to give us access to your amazing graphic design skills. Like, you're going to make our cards look way better than I could. You know, we've done them on MSC, which is fine, you know, for creating cards, but I think the Ark and Bayformers have put out some really, really pretty cards, and they look as good as the Wizards of the Coast version. So thank you both. Really can't wait to see the finished cards coming through, because we're almost at the end of playtesting, so I've been feeding Mike and Adam some cards. Next up from the Bayformers server, Tank Hunter and Hawkhammer. Thank you guys again. Bit of playtesting, bit of critique. Appeared on Tank's stream, did some TTS gameplay, and we already sneak peeked some cards. A couple of little changes to cards that you may have seen previously, but on the whole, the set's not really changed that much. Dylan, my buddy from up north of the wall in Manchester, or that way. Thanks, mate. You've been helping me out loads. Dan, aka Ciliag from Pips and Flips. Thank you again so much for your support and everything. Ozzy, all the way from Australia. G'day, mate. And thank you again for your input. You've also joined the Turbo Revving Old Punks now, and we're looking at some of the cool cards that Ozzy has been designing for Phase 2. And some other last four mentions. We've got Sandman and Frank from Wales, who play a lot on the ATP circuit. I've been doing some playtesting with Sandman, and Frank's also been playtesting some of the cards in the set as well. Finally, the last two. My good friend Lando, aka Sean from Plymouth, one of my local play group, has given some advice on cards and stuff as well. He's a very experienced gamer, and he has playtested for other card games in the past, so it was logical for me to bring him on board. And Sean's also helped design a couple of cards for the set, which is really cool. And then the man himself, Brian Jackson from America, winner of Bayformers tournaments, and all-round great guy. Thanks, man. You've been supporting my channel since almost the beginning, and it meant a lot to have you on board. So you've got a card in the set as well. And there's one last person I want to thank. That's my wife, Claire, because she's put up with a lot. And I mean a lot of evenings where I'm like, I need to play test. And she has been 100% amazing, just like she is on the channel. So yeah, it's coming soon.
So yeah, that was all the lists of thank yous. Dave went through pretty much everybody, I think. If we've missed anyone, we do apologise. But yeah, you know that you out there on the internet or in our Discord or whatever have had an input into this whole creation process that we've done. We thank you very, very much. So without further ado, guys, that is the end of our preview, should we say, because it is dropping very, very soon. It's going to be dropping on the 5th of July, so that's just around the corner. We're doing 20 battle cards, and we're doing 16 stratagems. But we want to finish this video with something a little bit spicy. So obviously, if you know the Transformers TCG, other groups have done characters, and we felt as a group that doing characters justice can be really, really hard. So we didn't really want to create sets and sets of characters. So what we're doing for our first phase, we are doing one character, which kind of was already introduced in the TCG, but Wizards of the Coast didn't do them justice. So guys, hopefully you guys check out our set on the 5th of July, and trust me, I think you'll get a kick out of our new character, because she doesn't just open up a whole new wave of like card design for us and possibly people who want to download our set. She interacts with a possible stratagem that is coming out with our set, which is a reversible stratagem, which is something that hasn't been done before. So guys, take care, have a good one, and we'll see you on the 5th of July for Phase 1 from us, the Turbo Revving Old Punks.
My invention is a special robot. It is the greatest robot ever created by man. This, gentlemen, is the first female ninja robot. I have named her Nightbird. Nightbird.
What is a ninja?
Nightbird.
What is a ninja?
Nightbird.
What is a ninja?